Hello, everybody, and welcome to another and always beneficial edition of our influencer series here at Zebra Technologies. My name is Paul Powers, and I am a senior channel account manager within the Fixed Industrial Scanning and Machine Vision division here at Zebra. In July of 2021, Zebra launched an initiative focusing in on fixed industrial scanning by the launch of 7 different products within the fixed industrial scanning and machine vision line, and really focusing in on the industrial automation sector. Over the past year and a half, we've learned a lot, and we've also gave us an opportunity to grow very close with the partners to which we've selected to be part of the launch and to bring these products to market. Creating a lot of buzz within the industry and disrupting it in positive ways. We also had a lot of questions, and some of those questions were related around product specifics, but then also, where do I go when I have questions regarding the new products that are being launched? And the answer to that was through the establishment of really qualified partners, of which today I have an honor of introducing FPE Automation and our special guest, Jomi Vadakampatam. Jomi, welcome.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you having me on and highlighting FPE automation.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in our industry, and with the change in the environment and the way people are purchasing, there's a lot of opportunities that are out there around fixed industrial scanning and machine vision both. And looking forward today to having some conversations about that, and really getting your with your background and experience and your whole team's expertise. Really looking forward to some of the inputs that you're going to be able to provide to our audience today. And then also give them an opportunity and platforms for reaching out to FPE for assistance on multiple Zebra products, including fixed industrial scanning and machine vision. And thinking through this, Jomi, I think one of the first questions I want to ask you is, what is FPE doing to help companies leverage automation needs?
Yeah. Well, we've been established supplier, a partner with local manufacturers in Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri for decades now. We're going on year 60 next year. So we've grown in that time. We started off with kind of parts, pieces, commodity, providing solutions around the fluid power industry. And we've really seen, especially accelerated in the last 5 years, and obviously with everyone thing that's going on the last couple of years, the need to accelerate in-house automation and in-house expertise at the manufacturer level. So FPE has taken it, luckily we're on the front end of robotics, industrial scanning, machine vision. We've really come to grow our applications team from a pre-sale and post-sale standpoint. So we think education is paramount in not only educating our customers on new technology, but once they have that technology and it's in their facility, how do they apply it properly? Best practices. Are we doing proof of concepts? Are we doing evaluation reports for our customers to really build up confidence that yes, this technology can work, but also redeploy that technology in other areas of the facility. It could be in logistics. It could be right at the production line. It could be in quality assurance area, things like that. So we really take that education piece at a very, very high level. In fact, right behind me is actually a training class going on right now to really make sure that customers are comfortable with the technology we provide and we can set them up for success in the future.
Yeah, 60 years. That's really amazing, isn't it? It's there's no two distributors or partners that are created equal, and I can say
Sure.
that FPE is a joy to work with and extremely knowledgeable at what they do. But for those who aren't too familiar with FPE, can you give kind of a little bit of an overview of FPE automation and what you
Yeah,
do?
I'd be happy to. So the FPE stands 60 years ago, the FP stood for Fluid Power Engineering. So family-owned company, started off in the Chicagoland area. Mac Valves put us in business to be the initial Mac Valves distributor in our territory, and it really has been a family business. I've been here for 20 years. I'm the vice president of sales and engineering. I started off in the application engineering world and really saw the just a growth engine that is FPE in the last 20 years. We've been handling fluid power solutions for that time, but about 20 years ago, we started providing more of the motion control side of applications, electric actuators, PLCs, sensors. Uh, and then 15 years ago, we started getting into the machine vision world, inspection, scanning, logistics, things like that. But yeah, we've grown. We cover Illinois. We have an office in St. Louis, Missouri. We cover Eastern Iowa as well, and we're a team of about 70 employees, 10 of which are application engineerings that are specialized in different aspects of the technology: robotics, machine vision, motion control, control, safety, things of that nature. But yeah, we look at our customers as partners, as well as our suppliers like Zebra. So we're in it with them. We're in the trenches trying to make a project successful. Sometimes our job is just as important to say no as it is yes. Sometimes some applications may not always be the best beneficiary of trying to automate, and we do take pride in the fact that we stand behind our recommendations. Sometimes we make mistakes, but I think that's where we've come to grow our relationship and our trust with our customers. Is we'll see those mistakes through, and we will also be there to celebrate the successes and to make sure we can grow on those successes.
Yeah, very, very important. Now, you mentioned people, product, solutions, and that's part of the reason why I think that our relationship is so successful is because Zebra's approach is very solutions based, and I think that meshes well with your philosophies there as a company as well. Let me ask you this: how does automation help companies in the way that they do business?
I think automation is a huge part of making of the reshoring of American manufacturing. Everybody knows about the labor shortages. We're not exempt from that ourselves, but automation can really do a number of things. It could take what we call the dull, the dirty, the dangerous tasks out of the human hands. For instance, we can take someone who's been looking at inspecting bottles, for 8 hours a day. That they're probably only doing that successfully for maybe the first 20 minutes of that shift. So we really think we can improve quality. We can improve the livelihood, the experiences that people have at their day to day jobs out of the manufacturing floor through automation. It's not to replace, but to maybe displace that person, to have them doing something that's much more rewarding, to have them doing something that's much more, you know, to their skill set. So I think automation is a big part of the growth of that American manufacturing reshoring initiative. The last few years through COVID, we saw a boom of trying to get the reshoring of those manufacturing plants over here. Um, but yeah, we say a lot of the times what you do is what we do. Here in the Midwest, we're blessed to have almost every single major industry or market, automotive, pharmaceutical, food and beverages. All those industries are beneficiaries of automation, and it's really just a tremendous privilege to be a part of those automation initiatives. One day we're working on a tier two automotive supplier, and then that afternoon we could be at a co-packer helping them solve some end-of-line packaging solutions through our products and our people that have been doing this for decades plus.
You'd mentioned over the past 2 years the challenges that were related to COVID. Um, any other challenges or hurdles that you found you've had to overcome within automation, or what a company can expect as far as any hurdles when they're maybe looking at to automate more of their processes?
Yeah, especially in the last 12 to 18 months, the biggest hurdle has been supply chain issues, and we've had our challenges, but I think we have to just get a little bit more creative. And our customers have been very receptive to suggested changes. It's not necessarily always fitting this exact peg in that hole. we can adjust the hole, we can adjust the peg to maybe adapt and engineer a solution around those things. So yeah, we had to get creative. We had in the slower periods of the pandemic, we really hunkered down and re established ourselves in technologies that we maybe weren't too familiar with. So we use that as an opportunity to get better. I think our value, is with our people and integrating the products that we sell. So, take Zebra for example. How do we integrate the Zebra scanner into a control network? How do we integrate that uh, scanner into a robotic cell? Things like that. That's the value we provide through our people, our training area, our R&D and engineering lab. That's the kind of resource I would hope our customers can expect from FPE.
So I'm a new customer of FPEs. I call up FPE or review an application. Kind of talk about that experience and what will customers come to expect with working with the FPE team.
Yeah, yeah, great question, and thank you for calling us. We appreciate the opportunities. But when you talk to FPE, whether it's through our website, a phone call, an email, we're hoping you have a welcome experience. Our account manager will probably be the first person that reaches out to you, and he or she will want to probably get to know your challenges, what your experiences have been thus far, what your long term goals would be in your specific role, whether that's a manufacturing engineer, plant manager, purchasing, whatever it have be. We want to really understand what your pain points are, but we also want to make sure it's a good fit, managing expectations. So, is FP the right partner for what you're looking to do? It may be that you're expecting a much different delivered solution that we can provide, and so we may need to tag in a partner of ours that could provide a much larger turnkey proposal. It might be that you have most of the wherewithal or capabilities to handle that project in house, but you need a little bit of help filling in the cracks. That's what you can expect from FPE. We have, like I mentioned before, we have a small team of engineers that are products focused, and all they do is live in that pre-sale post-sale world. So they can do proof of concepts. They could submit, provide an evaluation. We can do cycle time studies. We can really want to get to know your process. We'd want to do a plant visit. If it's a blank sheet of paper, we do plant audits all the time where we can kind of do a half day to a full day audit of maybe pain points so we can, A level, B level, C level, A level things that we can attack right away with minimal investment. B, that middle tier, and C, much, much longer term initiatives that would probably require some significant investments. But hopefully, what we could also do is provide you an ROI. We use a CPR, customer profit reinforcement plan, that really can document what your pain points are today, what the investment will be to address those pain points, and really document a clear cut ROI using your numbers. We don't want to make up numbers of a burden cost or anything like that, but we want to use your real life numbers so we can help provide you a business case to deploy those initiatives. So, hopefully you're treated with a very warm welcome and very honest and transparent responses. A lot of times customers want to automate the most complicated thing, and we're walking by, at least a half dozen much more easier, lower effort projects that we can tackle right away with just as great of an ROI. So, I hope we can have that open dialogue with our customers, and you can come to expect that. And that's always been how we've operated from the top down, ownership on down. And I can say that, being here 20 years, we'll always take care of our customers because I know how long we've been in business without them, and that's not very long.
Right. Yeah. We touched a little bit on hurdles and challenges. How does automation impact labor constraints in the environment that we're seeing today?
Yeah, it's an interesting issue that's going on with labor right now. People are not showing up for work because it's really just it's a dull job sometimes. It's dirty, it's dangerous. So, the people I hear all the time talking to operations or plant managers that there's temporary workforce that shows up, but they're leaving at lunchtime, or they show up for 1 week and then never hear from them again. And all the while, we see the employees that really grew up in that business. They want to do more. So what we're trying to do is elevate those employees, their skill set level. So somebody might be a machinist or a line operator, but they say, "Hey, I think I can uh, program that robot," or "Hey, that Zebra Aurora platform looks pretty easy to use. Can I learn more about that?" So we really want to enable those employees to not just increase their knowledge, but really make them a much more rewarding experience. If they can say, "Hey, I saw you program that one solution. Can I do that next one with you looking over my shoulder?" We love that. That's a great fit, both on our side, because I think it'll help long term having a product champion there, but also on their side, they can now keep an eye out for other applications. They're having a much more rewarding experience at their place. So I think if we can really elevate the current labor um, workforce with what they know now with even greater knowledge, but also augment what challenges and tasks that they don't want to do, that could be dangerous for them. So I think it should be a win-win automation. It should enable for more hiring for at a higher skill and education level. So the more robots and vision systems are there, the more talent that's going to be needed to support that. And I think it should be a win-win for the small businesses, the manufacturers of the world, and I'm really hoping that with our training center and our ability to enable those people on the plant level, the floor level, to use these products, I think it'll just improve the manufacturing process as a whole.
Yeah, good point. So, any cost savings associated with automation? You had touched on ROI and very important element of when somebody is selecting a solution and looking at short and long term goals. But any cost savings?
Yeah, cost savings can come in various forms. It could come, with inspection specifically. What is the cost of letting a bad part go out to your customer? What is the cost of a recall? What is the cost of the wrong package being sent out? So, there's a lot of costs that go into deploying automation, 100%, where we recognize that. But what is the cost of not doing that, right? So we want to look at, maybe we can not hopefully, but potentially point to past problems. This bad, widget got out to a customer, and because one out of 100,000 was bad, they had to recall the whole shipment and had a piecemeal go through all that. What is the cost of maybe a bad part going into a die and damaging a die? What is the cost of a misplaced part for safety in an automotive vehicle? So yeah, there's certainly a lot of costs that can be used as investment for automation, but the return, we see the quickest return on inspection, generally 1-to-1. If it's a two-shift type operation, and we're always aiming for that 12 to 18 month ROI. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we've had use cases where there's been an ROI of just under 6 weeks, which is outside the norm. It's not typically the case, but yeah, there's the cost of automation can potentially seem great, but if we're doing our job properly and we're covering what is the cost of not doing it, or what is the cost to do it currently, most times we're providing a very favorable report on that level. That answers your question.
It does. It does. I guess where I'd like to take it now is to ask you about some successes that you've had, or if any success stories that maybe you'd like to share with everyone today.
Yeah, as it relates to Zebra or just automation in general.
Just automation in general, like the what you do is what we do, and the people, product, solutions. If there's any if you have any success stories built around your company philosophies that you'd like to share.
Yeah. Oh gosh, there's I guess hitting close to home. In pandemic time, we were businesses had shut down, we were actually fortunate enough to work on a number of initiatives in the manufacturing world with ventilator manufacturing components to that level. We've had tons of customers reach out and offer assistance on COVID related solutions, where that be guarding, areas where you can section people off in the workspace. But I think in general, the biggest thing was just that rewarding value. When I come into the office and I see a class full of people, and then at the end of that class or that week of classes, they're just coming out with smiles on their faces. They really enjoyed what they came away with from our facility. And then the biggest compliment I can tell you, Paul, is when I see them come back for not a class. They got a chance to see our facility. They saw that gripper or that vision system that at another station, and they said, "Hey, I'd like to come back again and test something with one of your engineers. Can I do that?" And I think that's just such a rewarding, and like I said, it's the biggest compliment I can ask for in this job. But just part of hearing how businesses, one business back from China, they were quoting against China once upon a time, and they would never compete. But now lead times where they are, and with some automation initiatives that they did, we were able to win some business back. We've got a manufacturer of French fry baskets that did that, family-owned company on the south side, and they were able to win a lot of business back through automation initiatives. Just examples of that. We've a big customer of ours is in the fast food world, and we provide solutions in a drive-through lane that you would 9 times out of 10 never give it a second thought about how they're doing that. But us being fortunate enough to be in that world, just to seeing our products out in the wild is also pretty fun, and get to tell my kids that we worked on that, or we did a test on that project. So just little things like that are super rewarding, and I think it's just been fun to see just how much innovation has come in the last couple of years compared to the last 10 years before that.
Yeah, it's interesting being in this industry, and what we do does make an impact on so many different industries. And from a consumer good perspective, that's the part that is easy to see, whether you're grocery shopping or purchasing a consumer based good. You can have those stories and that association back to, and you can see, and potentially maybe you've worked on a project for consumer good, and you actually see that consumer good in a retail environment, and knowing that, hey, I had an impact on this, and that's pretty neat to see. Any closing thoughts that you have you'd like to share with us, Jomi?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to kind of give us a spotlight and highlight our partnership with Zebra. I can't say enough good things about what the roadmap looks like between our two companies. Obviously, Zebra is no startup type of name to be in the industrial scanning and machine vision world, and what the roadmap looks like. I'm really excited about what, for lack of a better word, the vision you guys have. But Paul, you and I have worked together for years, and you've gotten to know FPE in that time. So it's just really exciting. The next few years of automation and reshoring are just going to be a fun time for us, and I'm glad to have a partnership with Zebra.
Well, I can say that we are excited about it too, and we appreciate your loyalty, and we look forward to moving forward with you in the future, and solving all the world's problems one at a time, right?
We may not solve them all, but we certainly will try to.
That's right. That's right. All right, Jomi, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. My pleasure, Paul. You take care. Bye.